by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
I thought we played defense down, like when they might go on a little 4-point run, but we came back and we got 3 more stops and then we get more buckets, So I thought we played defense really well.
Oh yeah, I mean, where do we go if she's not hitting those threes? I mean, Jenny struggled to get the ball in the basket, and Michaela missed a couple easy shots, but Mo got 15 points out of what do we have, 32.
Youssefu just absolutely stepping forward when it was tight in the second half was extraordinary.
Feel a different vibe with this team right now. I do, in terms of being locked in and feeling like they've got to prove. When you talk to them, they seem kind of pissed off.
You go back to Super Bowl 54, the Chiefs won. That was decided by their ability to hold off the Niners pass rush. You look at the next year with the Bucs. They couldn't deal with the Bucs pass rush because they had injuries. Even last year with the Rams. The Rams and the Bengals. Aaron Donald wrecked the game.
I still really like the under. The last 4 Chiefs games have gone under. The last 5 Eagles games have gone under. That Chiefs defense held Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Higgins and Mixon, and we can go on down the list of guys, to 20 points. The Eagles D. So why this number continues to creep up?
Steve Nash and Dwight Howard on the cover and said this is going to be fun. When they were at the lake. It was not fun. It was catastrophically bad. This Harden, Kyrie, Kevin Durant mix might have been worse because the expectations were probably even higher that this team could put together a multiple championship run.
Inbounds to Robbins, hands off to Magnon with 3 with 2, drives to the bucket, to the right corner, 3 for the win. Yes! Tyrin Lawrence, right corner, and Vanderbilt scores that signature win, 66-65 over Tennessee.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town, coming to you from the Mayo Money Management Studios today. Steve Webster with you for the Thursday show. A lot of things to go over today. We'll be talking Great Bend Panther basketball with head coach Kyle Cree, and he is scheduled to be joined today by Great Bend Panther legend Brandon Wells, who is on a figurine over here, brought in by the mailman almost a decade ago. I don't even know where the mailman got it. Maybe he got it out of the Wells mailbox. I don't know.
You going to have him sign it?
I definitely have him take a picture of it. So, yeah, we're going to talk little matchup coming up tomorrow out in Garden City between the Panthers and the Buffs. So looking forward to that. We'll see how this goes. I was supposed to check in with, because Hess showed doubt on this earlier today. When he said, well, and we might have, he said, we might have Chiefs Radio Network executive producer and host Dan Israel is supposed to join us from Radio Row in Glendale, Arizona.
I'm sorry, Steve, but there may be somebody more than Steve Webster call him, and he'll have to take that one.
Well, then I'll send him a text, say, okay, the games are going to be aired nowhere.
Okay. You think he cares?
The pregame show.
Oh, okay.
So, no, that'll be fun checking in with him, find out what the vibe is out there in Arizona as we're getting closer to Super Bowl 57. Thursday sports headlines and the sounds of the past 24 hours. Did I introduce you guys today?
As the clowns that was
That's all the introduction we need.
I'm in a better mood today, so I got to make light of yesterday.
That's Bozo.
Okay. Yes, I am Bozo.
Mike Corson and Aaron Clark. Ready to get going, boys? Here we go. Cougar Downing, he became part of the 1,000-point club at Barton Community College last night, had 27 points in that game, and they were working to get him so he could just get over that mark last night. He has well over that now because he's a super sophomore, from the COVID era, but he played for Coach Combs at Neosho, where he scored a lot there. So he's probably around 1,500, 1,600 right now. But the Barton men pulling away last night in the second half, 74-55. Cougar Downing talking about why they were able to snuff out any cloud comeback. Barton improving to 16-8 overall, 11-7 in league play, and they remain tied in a three-way tie for fourth right now in the conference, behind as far as trying to get in that first round bye in the playoffs. Alan Clark talking about Morgan Myers, had 5 3-pointers in the first half. Really, when the Cougars didn't have a lot other things going on, except Cloud County couldn't score, 55-51, Barton goes on to win it. Myers had 19 points. Jenny Kim Woomsey with 22 after she got off to a slow start. So Barton now 20-4 overall. They're 14-4 in conference. They're just a half game behind second-place Butler, who they play next Wednesday here in Great Bend. Butler losing to Dodge City last night 70-63. So Dodge City's pretty much wrapped up the Jayhawk Conference. Also a big game on the men's side last night. Dodge City able to pick up a big win last night as they won by 1 point in their game. So Dodge City hanging on to first place, and as they were able to beat Butler last night, 1-point game. So good stuff from the Jayhawk Conference last night. Cougars head to Pratt, the Beaver Dome, coming up on Saturday afternoon. Mike DeCourcy, Sporting News, Sports Illustrated, College Basketball Insider, talking about KU's win on Monday night against Texas. It was a must-win for KU, as if they would have lost that game, they would have been essentially 3 games behind Texas in the conference standings. They won, so they're just a 1 game back now. Iowa State loses last night. So now we have Texas on top by 1 game, and then there's a 4-way tie now for second place between KU, K-State, Baylor, and Iowa State. They're all 7-4, and then you have Oklahoma State and TCU at 6-5. Just in case Cole Reif is listening, do not give the Big 12 too much credit as far as being able to win national championships. But, man, going down the stretch. Here's your Saturday games. Kansas has to go to Oklahoma, who went to Waco and beat Baylor. Kansas State is at Texas Tech. Texas Tech losing to Oklahoma State, who's surging here at the end of the season, 71-68. And it was, did I say Baylor beat? No, it was Baylor over Oklahoma last night. Where did I must have dreamed that. 82-72, Baylor slowed down Oklahoma. So that's where everybody's playing on Saturday. Let's see. Yeah, Oklahoma State's been playing well. They play at Iowa State on Saturday. West Virginia is at Texas. Big 12 race continues to be fun. Diana Rossini. Chiefs playing with a chip on their shoulders. I've heard that side of this studio talk before. Chip. They've got a chip on their shoulders, so the Chiefs are going to play harder in this game.
They didn't
on
need
Sunday.
The incentive of playing in the Super Bowl. They had to play harder.
Especially in a game like the Super Bowl, I think trying to say that anything is going to make a team play more, it is just bold because
your comments are all over the Chief locker room out there in Glendale. They are going to play a chip on their shoulder.
I'm sure they're piping me in the locker room. The local.
Look at this KVGB insider.
Hi, Patrick.
Up there.
He's probably listening right now.
Yeah, if you guys are listening, Creed Humphrey, I'm your biggest fan. Center for the
Patrick?
Chiefs. He's.
Let's see, Patrick Mahomes. Let me pull it up here on the flip phone here. Up, yep, okay. Okay. That was our Super Bowl row guy. So.
Gonna have to reschedule.
Okay, here we go. Is it going to work?
Get him ready to go.
Okay, yep, okay.
He's ready to go now?
He's not ready to go now. We just got to move on here. You'll like this. Well, Ian Fitzsimmons. No, wait, the other one, that's Jeff Shadia. He does a good job on NFL.com.
Oh, yeah.
Saying not only that, the Chiefs, this is a lot like it was against Tampa. Can the Chiefs protect Patrick Mahomes? And they've got, he said they dressed 10 defensive linemen, and they reached the quarterback more than anyone else, rushing just 4. So there it is. Again, I still feel better than what I did a couple years ago against Tampa Bay with a makeshift taped-up offensive line.
I do think it is telling that we've seen Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl a couple of times now, and the discourse seems to be the same every time. If you can get to him and pressure him, that's how you're going to have to beat the Chiefs. If you can't do that, you really don't stand a chance against him. I think it's really telling the kind of quarterback he is and what he brings to the table, because if you want to beat the Chiefs, you know you're going to have to bring pressure and really try to impact him, and especially
that game 2 years ago is the only time I've really seen anybody just overwhelm
he was running every play.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He had more rushing yards, or he ran more than any player on the field that day, just running away from pressure, and still made one of the greatest passes that game where he was parallel to the ground and was able to zip a pass downfield. But I think if the Chiefs can protect in the Super Bowl on Sunday, it'll go a long way towards a victory.
Chidi also said you just can't come out. You've got to do well on first down, because if you go back and go empty on them, they're probably going to get you. And again, when they can rush you with 4, that's going to be big. The pass rush. Here we go. We can't wait for our picks tomorrow. By the way, on the dumpster out there, it says 6.5 right now. Now, you can't place your bets.
That's why it's on the dumpster. It's unofficial.
Well, if you dump your bet in today, that's what you're going to get. It's whenever it goes in the slot. But so has it still at 6.5? Eagles minus 6.5.
I was actually thinking about that while I was driving around doing some sales today. And I think I'm gonna move it to. We're gonna change it to 4.5 for now. Give you a little bit of.
Okay, the line moves.
Moving it a little
I'm
bit.
glad
there.
I jumped in at 6.5.
Yeah.
Okay. What, you get a call from corporate and they said you need to move that down?
No, corporate doesn't care what I do. They're not.
Well,
I'm not on their
if
radar.
The house
yet.
loses, man.
Well, yeah, but they're still counting me as from not putting that expense report in. I still got a little bit of a leash, They're still
4.5 is a line today. Okay, speaking of line, Ian Fitzsimmons on Freddie and Fitz last night was wondering aloud why the over/under is continuing to creep up. I believe it's like 51.5 right now. He thinks, oh, man, it's going to be below that. I don't know.
It's indoors. Yeah, the Cincinnati game was down. It was out in the super cold.
I saw it before the game, and I don't feel like.
Are you going over, or are you going to go under? 51, Mike Corson. And this can change. What's the number on our lid out there? What do we got?
Oh, that one I hadn't set yet. I'll have to think about that one.
If you want that
more.
6.5 point line, you can still get here right now because
we haven't had a chance to go out there. Yeah, I got to go out there with the magic marker and draw it on there.
So 27-24 seems kind of low.
And that's the thing. I'm trying to think. 50 points each team scores 25.
Okay,
that's not.
I'm digging into my Monopoly money. So what we need to do is bring our Monopoly money in here, have it down, and each person has this so much we can find out who wins what.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
We really should do that.
Yeah, okay.
I'll bring it tomorrow.
Okay, you probably played with your Monopoly game more recently than me. So.
Oh yeah, my family will still break it out every once in a while.
Can you get some cash from home?
Oh, for sure, for sure. We can have a good time tomorrow.
Make sure you bring some 1s, 5s, 10s.
Yeah, I'll bring the whole shebang.
Okay,
I'll just bring the box. We can have a little lunch break Monopoly game too.
I get the shoe.
There you
I'm
go.
the dog.
Okay.
I'll be the top hat.
You like the dog? I didn't like the dog because he always fall over on the board. But okay, so 51, you feel good with that?
Is that Chris Mannix?
It is.
I knew that voice.
So our KVGB NBA insider here was basically saying the KD, Kyrie, Harden is catastrophically bad for the way it turned out. I think the Nets feel great now. They just, they tried it, didn't work, so now all the boys are gone.
You had me deep in thought last night with your LeBron James comments. So yeah, he runs his mouth a lot, but he's pretty clean lifestyle. Like Kyrie, just
I'm tired of hearing
drama.
So anyway, the Suns acquired him. Okay, and that's Suns. I mean, that's a pretty good pickup, don't you think?
No.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Cam Johnston, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder.
Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder got sent to
4 first-round picks and additional draft compensation to the Nets.
Yeah, who knew Jacques Vaughn was coaching in the NBA? Not me.
So that's what, So you have Paul and Booker, Ayton, and then Phoenix sending Cam Johnson. Do you like Bridges going to? I'm talking NBA basketball.
Durant heading to Phoenix is the big one there, but I liked Mikal Bridges as a defender, especially for his versatility, being able to guard from a 1 to a 4 there. He should do well in Brooklyn, but Phoenix obviously still one of the biggest contenders, not only in the league, nor not only in the West, but in the NBA now.
Okay, and the call on Learfield is Tyron Lawrence making a three-point shot at the end of the second half. We think of KU, K-State, Alabama, Auburn. There's nothing like Tennessee and Vanderbilt. In Nashville, Vanderbilt gets a win last night over 6th-ranked Tennessee, 66-65. We've got to run, boys. What do you got, Tidbit?
We had the combine invites announced yesterday, and we had 6 players from the Sunflower State get announced, including 4 K-State players and 2 KU players. Leading the charge, expectedly, Deuce Vaughn was invited, along with Malik Knowles, wide receiver out of K-State. Same with Julian Brents, the defensive back for Kansas State, and then Felix Inaduke Uzama, the edge rusher for him, and KU with 2 players, Earl Bostic, an interior offensive lineman for him there, and Lonnie Phelps, a linebacker. And so 6 players going to the Underwear Olympics this year.
That's what I was going to say. They're at Walmart right now making sure they're picking out. You don't want
It's fun to see, though. They're like, I enjoy seeing the athleticism on display there because I'm just not. It's fun to see what actual athletic people are capable of, you know?
His hands are too small.
I thought you were going to say that you can't wait to see those guys in their underwear, and that's what I was kind of concerned to be. Don't wear tidy whities to the NFL Combine.
No, it's just
look good.
Ike was never able to get my vertical jump above like 22 inches, and so seeing someone who's able to jump like 40 inches straight up in the air, that's just ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, but you could still bat around the 12-foot-2 button up there because just you were
I could
9-1
hammer one
wingspan.
home every now and then on the basketball court.
Okay, coming up, we will talk high school basketball. Kyle Cree and Brandon Wells are going to be in here on the show, and then we will head to Phoenix, get a Super Bowl preview of what the flavor is out in Glendale. Coming up with Dan Israel from the Chiefs Network. That's all on the way here on Sports Day. The need for nurses is constant. Barton Community College offers practical and registered nursing programs. The affordable and challenging coursework is taught by experienced instructors who care about you and have a passion for teaching in the field of nursing. Get hands-on training in the classroom, state-of-the-art simulation labs, and at clinical sites for this high-demand field. The application deadline has been extended to March 1st. Apply online at nursing.bartonccc.edu.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
Hello, this is Austin Alford. I'd like to introduce to you today one of the most popular pieces of equipment we have to train core strength, shoulder stability, core stability, and even to improve balance. Come check out the core sticks for yourself at Progressive Physical Therapy Center in Hayes.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Humid air is healthy air, and now you can keep your home at the perfect humidity level without refilling tanks every night. A whole home humidifier from Comfort Pro is the most convenient way to keep your family comfortable all winter long. It's a low-maintenance solution that attaches to your heating system. You set it and forget it. Call your friends at Comfort Pro today. Bryant is the trusted brand for whole home humidifiers and HVAC systems. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Your problem is no problem for Comfort Pro.
Hey guys, Dr. Katie from Animal Medical Center. It is National Pet Dental Month. We are running a special $30 off a regular dental and $60 off if we do blood work. Heart, kidney, liver disease, those can all be affected if we have really, really bad teeth. If you don't brush your teeth every single day, that's exactly what's happening to our pets. Cats and dogs, by the age of 3, will have 70 to 80% showing dental disease. Yearly cleanings are recommended, and we are more than happy to do them here at AMC. Feel free to call today, make an appointment, and we'll get you guys set up and get your pet taken care of for this National Dental Month.
It's time to talk Great Bend High School with head coach Kyle Cree on Sports Day.
Welcome back to Sports Day here on KVGB. It is Legends Day today here on the program. We have a special guest in studio. Special guesting is head coach Kyle Cree. Okay, I just want you to know.
Yeah, but I'm no legend. I'm no Great Bend legend.
Joining us in studio, Great Bend High School assistant basketball coach Brandon Wells. Welcome into the show.
Man, legend? I'll take it.
Okay,
Let's go.
Okay, so Hesh, you're over there on the camera right now. Can you maneuver that out without breaking McMullen again? The mailman, Mr. Schneider, brought this by. So we're kind of like we have relics that were brought in here. And I never knew who these people were. Well, I saw Wells,
Well,
so I figured,
a legend, wouldn't you?
Well, it could have been. I mean, so this is what has been in our studio for a while, and that's you, Brandon, right?
Right. WELLS. That's Wells.
And so I don't know where this came from. No one knows who has it. Or
if
we have
we
it.
can figure out the McMullen because we got Keith Rathman and we got Wells, so we're in the right era here.
Okay, so okay, bring out McMullen here. Okay, so we've got McMullen.
He's the baseball guy.
He's a baseball guy.
Man,
here we go.
What a deal.
And he is a right-hander.
He's got some dust on her.
Yeah, we've got some dust over there. Isn't that pretty cool? So you were not always number 4 though.
No, like I was saying earlier, my sophomore year I was number 4. We took pictures, and for whatever reason, after pictures, I decided on number 12.
But didn't Bo Black want you to be number 4?
Yeah, that was Bo's number. He was number 4, and maybe I was like, I don't know if I want to live up to those footsteps, so maybe I'll do the number 12 to start here.
Well, that's.
But yeah, I mean,
wow, that's.
Coach Black was probably like a couple weeks into the season. He was like, "Wells, we need to change your number."
Yeah.
But now
I was a sophomore, so yeah.
Coach Wells is number 12 and everything. He's still number 12.
Well,
it's kind of my whole family's kind of number 12. So
okay, so it's right here. I'd like to find out, who built that. Must have been one of your.
Don't ask me. I mean, I'll take it from you, but other than that, I mean, it's got a pretty good home in here.
Well, okay,
so maybe we just leave it.
I
in
like
here.
it. So we got to the bottom of all this. Glad you guys are here. This is a big week of basketball for Great Bend Panthers, huh?
Yeah, for sure. We're excited for the game tomorrow. We're ready for the challenge, and I think we're ready to redeem ourselves. I think we were pretty close last time we played Garden, and we'll see what we're made of tomorrow night.
So you go into it, you're 3-1, they're 4-0 in conference play. This is one they're probably looking at and saying, okay, we can get this one. We're probably going to cruise on to the finish line. For you, it's a chance to tie for first place.
Well, I hope that's their approach. Knowing their coach, I don't think that's the case. But, yeah, if they're overlooking us, then we're going to smack them in the mouth. But, this is just another WAC game. But we also got, we got Hayes, and we got to play Dodge, and we got to play Liberal again. So this isn't necessarily going to guarantee us a WAC championship by any means, but we're gonna see what we're made of tomorrow.
Great
Smack 'em
matchup
in the mouth, baby.
Yeah, great matchup. The first time they ended up winning by 3. It was you had a 9-point lead in the first half. They came back led by as many as 7 on a couple different occasions. We had 2 cracks. Well, I'm counting one was like a 35-40 footer that almost went in by Ian Premer, and you had a chance to beat him here in a very, very good basketball game.
Yeah, he had that half-court shot that almost went in, and then we also had like a side out-of-bounds play where he got a shot in the corner, and the guys responded pretty well and kind of listened in the huddle and stuff like that. So we got some good looks, and like I told you a couple days ago, there's probably no other team that I've watched more than Garden since I got here. So I'm pretty familiar with what they're going to do. I know every set play, and we just got to translate that message and make sure that our guys are on the same page.
This is a WAC battle. We always say it's fun to see because these players, they go at it in football, they go at it in baseball, they probably run against each other on the track. It's one of those conferences. So everybody knows, they know everything about you for the most part.
Yeah, and our guys know them too. In the social media world that they live in, they're probably friends with them every other day of the year except for the times that we play them. So our guys know who they are. We know the Steinmates guys, probably one of the best players in the area. So we got to shut him down. But we see on the inside, he's definitely the key to beating them. I feel like if they start feeding the post and he gets going, then they're a good basketball team.
You're able to get him in a little bit of foul trouble the first meeting, but then it was like Colton Davis, a 6'5 junior, came off. He had a career-high 9 points in that game, and that was all in the second quarter. So it's like that, and you get a game like that. Someone maybe steps up, maybe you're not expecting to.
Yeah, and I think maybe they played 2 or 3 guys off the bench, and he's definitely one of them. And he played some good minutes, and he kind of gave him some length in their 2-3 zone, and we're definitely going to be a lot more prepared to attack that zone tomorrow.
Kyle Cree, Brandon Wells in with us here on the program. What's your scout tell you, Brandon, about this Garden City team?
Well, I think, one thing that caught us off guard the first time was their length. And I think we were sitting on the bench going, man, they're a lot bigger than we thought. And we definitely weren't expecting them to go to zone. And, they can do that because they're long and man, they crash the boards. They're tough. Premer had that wide open 3 in the corner, and that would have basically won it. And then almost had the half court go in. And, I think he talked about it, but Kramer was in the next day getting shots up, and you just love to see that. But yeah, they're going to be tough, especially at Garden. But hopefully we're hitting threes and before getting into anything else. I don't want to ruin anything, but yeah, we'll be ready. I mean, it's
fun, isn't it?
I mean, it's not been a while, but I think Schramer and them, but this is for first place of the WAC, and it's just nice to have those games.
Okay, it was just a month ago or over a month. It was January 6th, and Kyle, you said you watch this team more than anybody else. How are they the same? How are they different? How are you the same, and how are you different since that game on January 6th?
I mean, without a doubt, we've grown a lot. I think our motion offense against man has gotten a lot better. Defensively, we get after it a lot more, and our guys have bought into that. So on our side of things, we've definitely got better. And then, excuse me, when you look at their team, honestly, from watching film, they do a lot of the same stuff. They're going to run like a horn set. They're going to run Steinmates through some elevator screens. They're going to run the 2-3. I would say what they've improved is maybe spreading out their scoring a little bit. The Underwood kids get more buckets and a lot of rebounds. Steinmates is averaging more points. And then one of their guards, I think number 1, the Salinas kid, he's shooting the ball a lot better. I think the first time he was shooting maybe like 20% from three-point line, and he's improved, and now he's shooting 35 to 40%. So they've kind of spread out their scoring, and they're shooting the ball really well.
Yeah, Salinas was the first guy removed by Jeff Williamson in most games from the frustration level. So it sounds like that's got better.
I think another thing is just not settling for threes all the time. I mean, that's going to be big for us because a lot of times we're one and done against that length down there. So, getting into the zone and creating and not just settling for threes when it's easy to do. So.
Yeah, that's been the evolution of this basketball team this year. As far as it's really interesting, they are big. This is going to be a test. You guys have 4 games in a row now where you're plus 10 or more out rebounding your opponent. You guys have been crashing the glass, and it's been impressive to watch.
Yeah, and I think the guys are probably sick of hearing about it. But I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that when you win the rebound battle, you're going to win the basketball game or at least increase your chances. And then also, I think in the past 2 games we've had. I mean, I might be wrong by a few points, but I think we've had 82 points in the paint. So if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season if you were going to have 2 games where you had 82 points in the paint, I probably would have laughed. So I mean, the guys are buying in, and we're shooting higher percentage shots.
Carter Combs has 6 3-pointers in those games, and you've got an interesting relationship with Carter. It's kind of like, okay, because he starts moving out further and further. Is it kind of like one of those, okay, well, keep shooting it? Or
no, not by any means. He knows if he keeps backing up, he's going to back himself onto the bench.
Yes, exactly.
So,
he did a heat check in Bueller. It was pretty far out there, and
that was the one.
That was it.
But the first couple, I mean, he hit that one in the corner, and he was towing the line and stuff like that. And that's, I mean, a different, 5 or 6 feet is definitely a difference in shooting 40% or shooting 20%.
So he's coming into his shot too. I mean that helps and not.
What did you discover about it?
Yeah, I mean, coming off the pass, a high-low or a inside out. But the ones that, I mean, yeah, you're going to be open from half court.
Okay, so he's got a pea green light, not a dark green light.
Yeah, I mean, I would say within the offense, I think the ones that we maybe don't like the most is maybe like in transition and dribbling down and shooting the Cougar Downing 28-foot shots. I mean, I watched him play last night, and that kid can shoot lights out. But we've got a little different approach than they do at the JUCO level.
Okay, so Caden Sharman, this is like the evolution. Like he was the last guy in on America's Got Talent, right? Last guy to get in, and then he just surges through, and then he becomes he makes the final. He didn't play Tuesday. You could tell it made a little bit of difference.
Yeah, we missed his toughness and his leadership, and probably a lot of other things that we could talk about. And but he bounced back. I mean, he was back at practice yesterday and doing what he does. And he's another guy that's kind of fallen in love with his 3-point shot. But we want him to drive with his strength and everything. Obviously, if he can catch off an inside out like Wells was talking about, or something within the offense, we're going to let him shoot it. But we want him to be a driver. We can't have 8 guys that all want to chuck up threes.
He is 5 for his last 11, but
yeah,
I say, what is his percentage? Knock on wood, it's pretty good.
It's been growing, as the season's gone along. So, okay, I've got both coaches.
Maybe that year off helped.
I asked Kyle when he was in on an earlier show. I said, talk about the dynamic and what goes on that bench, because we've got 4 guys down there, and you're all doing different things. You know, Kyle's moving guys in and out of the lineup. And
Well, as assistant coaches, we're all telling him who he needs to put in and who he needs to take out. But, Kuhlman will be over there. Daddy Kuhlman, he's a referee at heart, so he'll tell you every call that they're missing. And
Who has fouls.
Who has fouls. First horn, if we're ever not out of timeout on time, it's Dale's fault.
He's a first horn guy.
He will let you know. It's the first horn.
Well, he's kind of like the
second
mediator.
horn. We got to hurry.
He's kind of like the mediator, too, because you can go in there, and then I saw him out there talking with the officials during the timeout. You're in there talking to the guys, keeps you out of trouble, but he's over there, the good, nice
I don't know about
coach.
media.
There were times, though, when I'm like, hey, go say something to him, and I think it was a couple games back, and he's like, Korea, they just ripped me. He's like, man, they're mad at me now. They're mad at me.
Oh, they won't even look at me.
Yep. So he does a good job, and like Wells was saying, I listen to these guys, so I listen to a lot of things that they say, and they definitely play a big part on who we're playing in games.
Okay, thoughts on this game tomorrow night, Kyle?
I'm excited. I think we'll be ready without a doubt. We typically try to put our scouting report on one page, but with Garden, we've got 2 pages. We know all their plays. We know what they're called. We know what their defensive calls are. We know what all their tendencies are. So we'll be ready, and hopefully we can pull this out, and most importantly for our guys and all the hard work that they put in.
Coach Wells?
I mean, knock on wood, we've always played pretty good at Garden, and hopefully it'll be a good atmosphere because, it's a big game, and hopefully we rise to the challenge.
Did you wear a white towel like that? Is that actual?
I did. I had sweaty hands.
Yeah.
There's Scott. I accidentally interrupted him on a business call in there, so.
Oh, yeah, and he actually smiled at you later?
I don't know. Well, he did smile at me later, so he didn't smile at me at the time.
He must have gone ahead and followed through and got the sale then.
Yeah.
He'd be waiting for you if he did.
I called him a legend in there, too, by the way. Yeah.
Really?
They were probably, is that Brandon Wells?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're in. We're in.
Yeah.
How much money you need?
Yeah, there you go.
If you're looking at this right now and it's yours, I guess show me the designs. I don't want
to have the white towel. I don't know if I had all those arm sleeves and stuff, but.
Oh, I bet he did. I bet he was an accessory guy.
Just tape the wrist.
Did they have high school girls wood shop? I mean, somebody that was,
high school girls wood shop. I think it's for everybody.
She was admiring from you from afar.
Yeah, I doubt that was the case.
Guys, thanks for coming in. It's going to be fun tomorrow night. We'll see you out at Garden.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
All right.
Go Chiefs.
Great Bend Panthers against Garden City tomorrow night. We'll have it for you. The doubleheader starting at 5:45 on B104.3 The Point.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Don't feel bad if you're not a phone expert. That's what we're here for. At Next Tech Wireless, we'll help you in the transition to a new device step by step. Want to customize the screen? We've got you. Have questions about some of the functions? We're happy to help. You're not just another number to us. Come see us today and we'll get you into the best phone for your needs. We're friends. We're neighbors. We are Kansas. Next Tech Wireless.
Minor sickness or injury doesn't always happen during your doctor's regular office hours. So when you need care, the team at the University of Kansas Health System Convenient Care Walk-In Clinic is available for you. Walk in 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. No appointment needed. Let the experienced team at the Convenient Care Walk-In Clinic at St. Rose Medical Pavilion care for you. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com/greatbend.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Viagra is available in generic form, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED for a fraction of the cost. And Hims makes it extra affordable. The generic form of Viagra has the same active ingredient, but is 90% cheaper. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. That's right, Free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to medical providers online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. Then a certified pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to, and that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/joy.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-326-7765 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-326-7765. That's 800-326-7765. What do you have to lose? Call 800-326-7765. Again, 800-326-7765.
KVGB is your home for all the news in Central Kansas.
Took a lot of phone calls and getting on the calendar, and there's just a lot of moving wheels that have to take place because a lot of these carnivals are scheduling 2 years out. So the limited number we have available, it's just a luck of the draw and everything falls in place.
KVGB News is brought to you by Aaron's Repair and Supply, Nicholson, Ricky, and Bryant Funeral Home, by Abby's Carpet and Floor, and by the Barton Community College Foundation.
It's just a little embellishment. I'm Daria Albinger with today's tax tip. A few more expenses here, a little less taxable income there. Who's going to find out? Accountant Janice Heyman says probably the IRS.
So much of our income is indeed tracked and reported. Just claim all of the income. It's so much easier, more comforting to know you have not missed anything.
Cheating is cheating, whether you're doing it on purpose or if you just don't have the answers to some items on your return. Here's an example.
There's a 1099 that could have been issued that you might not receive, but it's going to be reported to the IRS even if you didn't receive it, so you better pick it up.
If you really need to get more information, file for an extension, and if you think you'll owe the IRS, make an estimated payment. And it goes without saying, if a Tax Prep Pro encourages you to cheat on any part of your return, look for someone else. With today's tax tip, Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back. Sports Day here on KVGB. Steve Webster with you on the Thursday show. As promised, Dan Israel. Dan is the executive producer and host for the Chiefs Radio Network, and he is in Arizona. Chiefs getting set to take on Philadelphia Eagles coming up on Sunday. Dan, appreciate the time today. What's going on out in the sun today?
Well, let me just tell you, first of all, the weather here in Phoenix is beautiful, but you cannot turn any direction and not realize that this town has been inundated with the National Football League. The Super Bowl is everywhere. They've got decals on buildings that are 50 stories tall, so they've come to play.
And there's probably a little bit of red out there, isn't there?
There's a lot, yeah. You know what? There's a fair amount of green as well. But just going through the NFL Pro Shop yesterday, the Eagles seem to have a lot of merchandise left. Chiefs were sold out of about everything.
You're becoming an old hand at this, right? I mean, you're most experienced executive producer in the NFL right now, man. You've got this down probably by now, don't you?
I do. Isn't that crazy? You wait 27 years, and finally you get here, and now I feel like I know what's going to happen tomorrow. I know what's going to happen on Saturday and Sunday, and so, it makes a big difference, which is why I think for the players, playoff experience, in particular Super Bowl experience, is so valuable because you do kind of get it. You understand the spectacle that you're walking into, and you're able to deal with the grandeur and just the largeness of it all.
That's one of the neat things having you on here today, Dan, because I don't know if people understand that as much. And you mentioned the players' side of it, but is that kind of what got you when the first time that you went out to a Super Bowl, especially with the Chiefs involved?
Yeah, absolutely. I always try to liken it to, just so people can understand, if on a scale of 0 to 10 in intensity, regular season is a 0 or a 1. The first round of the playoffs becomes kind of a 2. Second round, the divisional weekend kind of becomes a 3. And then the AFC Championship, it jumps to a 6 or a 7. And then when you get to the Super Bowl, it's more like a 35.
Well, Dan Israel with us. Okay, Dan, I want to talk about the production end here, and then we'll get to the game and some other things, too, that you're involved in. From the production side of it, I know we're disappointed that we won't be able to hear Mitch Holthus and on the call here. We'll have the Westwood One with a former Chief broadcaster, so that's, I guess, the next best thing. But is that disappointing a little bit? I like the Manch. He doesn't get to have the entire kingdom listening to him on the Super Bowl broadcast.
Well, it's disappointing for us all, but as you said, we're kind of finally getting used to it. But, yeah, when this rule's been in place for a long time, essentially the Chiefs don't have the rights to this game. And so the NFL distributes those rights to its national partner. They do allow us to broadcast in Kansas City. I just can't feed any of the affiliates. But that rule's been in place for a very long time. In 1993, it was an absolute shock. It just seemed like the most ludicrous thing I ever heard in my life. And so when we came around in 2019, well, really 2018, as we prepared for the possibility of going to the Super Bowl, I was kind of ready for it, but it never sits well. You just want it just feels so unfair to be able to have this network that we run with all year, and then when it gets to the very top of the summit, nobody gets to enjoy it.
You are going to have some programming for us Sunday. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we are. We'll hit the airwaves at 3P Central. We're going to have try to do our normal pregame show, and then we'll additionally try to do our normal postgame show, just with Westwood One sandwiched in the middle instead of Mitch Holthus and Dana Hughes.
Okay, with the Super Bowl, all the media in there, how's that affect you guys? I mean, you get the prime location in the press box, or talk about the technical side that may be different at the Super Bowl than it would be for, say, even the playoffs or a regular season game at Arrowhead.
Yeah, here in State Farm Stadium, there is no prime spot. They've sold that to fans, so it makes it really, really difficult. We're probably at the 10-yard line or maybe even the end zone line here. Not quite in the end zone, but very, very close. And as the field is painted, and as you'll see it on Sunday, to the right side of your screen will be the Eagles. To the left side will be the Chiefs. We're almost even with the Eagles, which is I guess it doesn't matter as long as all the scoring's done on our end. We'll be happy. But, frankly, as long as they do all the scoring, period, I don't care where it happens.
Oh, okay. So, and then at the game itself, where are you at right now? Are you on Media Row right now, Dan?
I've just left the stadium, and I'm headed back to the team hotel, actually.
Okay.
But, yes, we've been doing some Media Row. Yesterday we were at Media Row all day.
What's that like?
I was a little bit surprised. In 2019, it was a massive room with a lot of people. I don't think they fully kind of recovered from COVID. It didn't seem like it was quite as many people. Certainly the setup for us here in Phoenix wasn't as good as Miami, but still fun nonetheless, to see all these superstars walking around and you can just grab them and talk to them, which is a pretty unique opportunity.
Okay, we get the national media down here. Of course, they're not talking about NFL Super Bowl. They're talking about the NBA, which is kind of disappointing in a way.
Right.
But so what is, we're hearing some things, that, people are saying, well, it might be a close game, but the Eagles, are going to be and of course, we've got a co-host here on the program that tells me about the Eagles pass rush all the time. What is this Chief team feeling, undervalued a little bit, do you think?
I think they feel the underdogs slightly, and I think, frankly, they play better when they feel that way. I don't know why that seems to motivate them so much, but there is a legitimacy. I mean, Hassan Reddick's a train wrecker. I mean, he'll mess up everything. Fletcher Cox, of course, has been around a long time. So the Eagles' defense is legit. I'm just not sure the whole team, the entire Eagles team, is as battle-tested as the Kansas City Chiefs. Their schedule is relatively easy. They didn't beat a lot of good teams. They played a lot of teams and they won, but they didn't beat all. They weren't playing the Bills. They weren't playing the Cincinnati Bengals. They just didn't have the schedule that the Kansas City Chiefs had. I mean, with the hardest schedule in the league. So I feel like it's weird or strange that we're underdogs. But again, like I said, they seem to play a little bit better from that. So I guess really when you're at a point and a half, it's practically a pick 'em.
So you've been through this a few times. You've been in a lot of big games with on the Chiefs network, especially the last 5 years for sure. So what's kind of your feeling right now, Dan?
It's finally starting to feel comfortable. You don't know what quite to expect. We were able to get in and out of the stadium these last couple of days much easier than we were either in Tampa Bay or, frankly, easier than what we've done some regular season games here in Arizona. But, I think your experience tells you, hey, look, as the week progresses, the security is going to get more and more intense. So get your work done early. You just have that experience. It's just so valuable for all of us, not just me, my entire crew, Mitch, Bainan. It just helps to know what's going to be in front of you instead of kind of guessing like we did for the first few years.
Yeah, and that's another thing that happens when you go in there, and of course you're doing games at Arrowhead. You kind of have the run of the place. Even on the road, you probably know a lot of the sports info, but those people, so you have that relation. And then the NFL, and it's all locked down. It seems like you're an outsider. It's something you decide to be able to do your regular stuff,
Yeah. Yeah, the NFC is labeled the home game, the home team. We're labeled the AFC is labeled the visiting. That doesn't really matter because everybody's foreign here. Nobody's a home team. Much like Miami, that's the preferable thing. I did not enjoy that in Tampa Bay. That was not fun playing an actual home team. But, I think everybody comes in here, and of course the league takes over this game, so it's very different. What entrance you might normally take is now a different completely entrance. You got to go through parking lot this to get to that, and then you go through security, and you scan your bags, then you buzz in, and then you buzz out, and it's just very intense.
How much equipment do you travel with, Dan?
We travel with about 5 trunks. It's about 1,600 pounds of equipment. Fortunately, I don't do much of that lifting anymore. My crew does, but they, for them, the Chiefs carry our equipment to and from the venue, so it rides on the charter with us, or in this case, traveled in the truck with the team's equipment. But there's always a logistical issue. Like, for instance, all the Chiefs' equipment went to ASU, where the Chiefs are practicing. We had to get it from ASU to State Farm, Stadium, where we're actually going to broadcast from. So it's always it's tricky. You got to be thinking ahead, and you can't just pull a truck in to State Farm Stadium. that is not going to happen. I thought you'd get out of the cab before somebody would drop you with a taser.
So all this stuff going on, of course, the game, you want to do that, but then you've got the production part of it, and you got to have everything, make sure all the equipment works. How do you get over that anxiety? Just preparation and knowing you've got all your cords lined up?
Yeah, we went early. We started Tuesday putting everything together. Normally we would walk into the press box just hours, 4 or 5 hours before kickoff, assemble all our equipment, get it going, get it tested. But this game is just too big. So we went in on Tuesday, started that, and then finished it up today. We're really ready to broadcast. From an equipment standpoint, we're ready to go today.
How many frequencies are available there? Let's say if you want to run IFB or things like that, how do you have to get an assignment from the NFL for this?
Oh, yeah. And not only that, they issued 3,000 frequencies for this game. In fact, we were talking, the field here, it's motorized, and it sits on kind of a cookie sheet that they roll out in the parking lot. That contraption has 72 motors, all of which are wireless. So even that frequency had to be coordinated. It was crazy.
I don't want you to go to the sideline and the field starts moving back out of the stadium. That wouldn't be. Well, get off that channel. Get off that channel. Dan Israel with us right now. Just your feeling on the Chiefs. Are they going to win this game? I mean, you're a veteran right now, being around the team and the broadcast crew. What's your feeling on the outcome of the game, Dan?
Well, I don't get to see the Eagles, so I can't really say what their practices are like, but the Chiefs are, man, they are dialed in right now. I feel like Mahomes is ready to play the game today. I feel like the injury situation is getting better every day. Kadarius Toney's getting better. Juju Smith-Schuster's getting better, Mahomes, of course, and Kelsey. I feel like by Sunday, these guys are going to be ready to play, and their focus is very intense. I've been kind of saying all week, I think they learn more, the Chiefs learned more from their loss in 2020 to the Bucs than maybe their win against the 49ers in 2019. I think that guys like Mahomes, guys like Kelsey were fueled far more by losing that game to the Bucs than anything else, and I think they're just bound and determined not to let it happen again.
Dan Israel with us, and Dan, congratulations. Your induction into the Kansas Association Broadcasting Hall of Fame. That's outstanding. Tell me about your career. How'd you get started, then get hooked up with the Chiefs Network?
You know, it's funny. I took a board-out job in college to help pay through college. Just fell in love with radio. I'd always wanted to do radio anyway, so when I got the chance to be a board operator, I thought, you know, this is the greatest job ever. I know we all look at that job now differently, but sure was exciting in 1983, and I just was fortunate enough to get hooked up with an intern that was studying at KU at the time. That was Kevin Harlan. So he and I kind of rode up the ladder together. He went on to CBS and bigger things as CBS TV and the Timberwolves and all of that, TNT. But Kevin's just such an outstanding talent, and for a long time he just insisted that I be alongside him. So very fortunate about that. But I don't know, the Hall of Fame, you know, induction is certainly an honor, but you realize in a moment like that, you realize how many people you've had that helped me. My engineer's been with me. Nate Wetmore's been with me for 20-plus years. Eric Townsend's driving the car right now, and if I don't mention his name, he's probably going to pull over. So, but, you know, it's the guys that you count on day in, day out that really help get you there. So I wish we could all go in together. That's not how they do it, but definitely an honor, and boy, I tell you, I couldn't be more humbled by it.
Well, Dan, I appreciate the time you took today. Do you guys ever team up to see if you can stump Holtus on high school mascot names?
Many times. John Dorsey and I used to do that every trip. Never worked. I think we got him one time, and I think it was the most obscure. Like, we weren't even sure we were right, but we knew Mitch didn't know it. So, but yeah, he's there's something wrong with that boy. He's got a hard drive for a brain or something. I don't know why he's using all the space to store high school mascots, but it's pretty hard to stump him.
Okay, does he do active schools or past schools? Can you get him on a school that doesn't have schools anymore? I mean, the school there anymore.
He even knows that stuff. It's crazy. This school merged with that school. You know, because he grew up in the middle of Kansas, he knows that kind of that small town aspect to it all. And so he gets completely how the whole thing's put together. He said, oh, yeah, this school started as that school, then they merged with this school in that county, and they became this. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, ask him what Radium's mascot was.
Radiums. Okay, you got it.
Okay, Radium Rangers. Okay, and see if
Rangers,
he gets that
okay.
one. Yeah, okay, all right. Dan, we're going to let you go. Congratulations, and looking forward to the broadcast. Congratulations on your Hall of Fame, and appreciate you spending time with us today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Go Chiefs.
Okay, you betcha. Dan Israel with us from the Kansas City Chiefs Radio Network here today on Sports Day on KVG.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
The need for nurses is constant. Barton Community College offers practical and registered nursing programs. The affordable and challenging coursework is taught by experienced instructors who care about you and have a passion for teaching in the field of nursing. Get hands-on training in the classroom, state-of-the-art simulation labs, and at clinical sites for this high-demand field. The application deadline has been extended to March 1st. Apply online at nursing.bartonccc.edu.
If you're not filling with Cenex Premium Diesel, then you're not giving your fuel system the premium treatment. Cenex Roadmaster XL comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn, while restoring your power by up to 4.5% and your fuel economy by up to 5%. Typical number 2 diesel? I guess it covers the basics. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today. When you need to get rid of the pain, you want the best. You need to see Dr. Dan Quillen at Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Dr. Dan is Barton County's only board-certified clinical specialist in orthopedic physical therapy. No matter your age, when it hurts, he will help. Call Dan at 620-282-4825. That's 282-4825. Excellence-driven, unrivaled results. Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Inside the Fieldhouse at 9th and Madison in Great Bend.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction. They have quite a few jobs scheduled for the new year, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back, Sports Day. So cool to have Dan Israel on the program, and I'm into the technical side of it because you go into these places and he probably drives up to Arrowhead and unloads the trunks and's got it up there, or you go on the road. There you've got like this security, you got to get through that security, and the number of frequencies. Isn't that wild? I didn't know you could get up there and try to get on a band and try to figure out, it's second down and 8, 3 minutes to go, and you hit the right one, and those and the
20-yard line starts.
The field starts moving out.
Well, I'm just imagining they're lining up for like a 52-yard field goal. All of a sudden, the goalposts literally start moving.
You can just activate the wheels on that end, and it vibrates, and yeah.
You would think they would lock those down or have some kind of security on those. They would have to.
3,000.
3,000, that's crazy.
I don't think our little 5-band referee radio that we use for football games would probably work down there. I mean, we've had that before. You hear somebody calling in an oil field truck, during the second quarter. We have to switch. But no, that's really good. Dan Israel's a good guy, and really appreciate him joining it.
I didn't realize he started with Kevin Harlan. That was interesting to
How
me.
about if you're going to tie your
career to Kevin Harlan? Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Kevin Harlan comes out, graduates from KU. Tom Hedrick leaves, and he has the KU job.
Yeah, well,
and he filled in very, very well during that. And then he went to Missouri. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. Super Bowl foods, what's your favorite?
I'm a big fan of the just barbecue wings. Just the standard, and I will make the distinction.
Not the buffalo, right?
I will say I make the distinction. I lean barbecue rather than buffalo.
Not the buffalo. No,
yeah, I'm not a big buffalo guy, but get a good smoked barbecue, honey barbecue, any kind. I'll devour it. Go after it.
Deluxe nachos.
What kind of meat?
I would like a combination. I would like chicken and hamburger.
So would you have the chicken in a different one, or you'd have the?
I would probably have them different. Yes.
Okay. All right.
A lot of cheese, some jalapenos.
I just want I want something that can be warmed up later.
Pizza, right?
Well, I just want something to be warmed up later because I just want beer. You don't want to be slowed down during the Super Bowl.
The only sustenance Webby needs during the big game.
Just have a pot of whatever's left that I can warm it up after the game's over with.
Nice.
And, of course, like 2 years ago, I was eating early in the third quarter, so I don't want to have that experience again.
Get some nice soup that you can let marinate a little bit during the game and then warm up afterwards after it's had a chance to sit and develop for a couple hours.
Quesadilla for your chicken.
We've always had the family over, but, they all bolted. They're gone, so if anyone would like to invite me to their Super Bowl party, I probably won't go because it's going to be kind of fun just sitting out there. But, hey, I'm available,
So you going back to the porch where you spent your COVID issue?
57 degrees, baby. You bet. I'm gonna move the big screen back out on the patio. Now, it will be later, so it'll be dark, but that's why you have insulated coveralls, okay?
You're welcome to come to Emporia to my Super Bowl party up in E-Town, baby. Stingers up, though. That's the rule. If you're there, stingers up.
Okay, is that E-Town? Is that
No,
That's the one David's going to?
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Ah, great show. You never know where this is going to go. Hesh, you can come over to my house.
That's okay.
Oh, you guys could have a cute little time.
We would argue the whole time.
That's exactly right. The neighbors would be out there.
Cops would be
calling about a domestic dispute over there at the Webster
they'd
house.
be doing just like they're doing this show. Shut up, you clowns! Talk to you tomorrow on Sports Day.